Hello beautiful beings, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about 2020, and I'm going to be talking about journaling and some goals and planning, which I'll be getting into in a little bit. So 2020, a whole decade, bro, and shit, it's crazy. There's a lot of energy that's been building up, people have been feeling, and a lot of major emotions and feelings that have been building up and are ready to be expressed. I feel that 2020 is going to be such a big year. In this video, I want to talk about journaling and how I do it, and maybe it can help you guys out, and like the goals I'm going to be setting and how I journal and how I get prepared. Hopefully this does not bother you guys. I'll try to fix it. So before you start journaling and doing all of this thing, take a day or two to reflect. And this is highly important. And this helps because you get to sit down and think back and reflect on like, okay, what have I learned? What were the things I needed to work on? What were the things I needed to be focused on more? What were the things I improved on? What were the lessons I learned, baby? And what were the visions I had? What could I have done to improve my goals and to achieve my goals? And what did I achieve? When you reflect on it, it helps you not make or repeat those steps or those actions or those things you did before. Because why would you want to repeat it, you know? You're trying to step into something new and know that, okay, I did this before, it did not work, so I'm not going to do it again. Let's try a new method. Down with your journal and write down what you're grateful for that has happened in 2019 for you, and the lessons you have learned, and what is no longer serving you right now. And write down what can you do to help yourself right now, and what can you do to grow. 2019 was a year of shedding and moving forward from the years of trauma and unhealed wounds. By the end of the year, stepping into independence and becoming my own person. I got to meet and connect with many like-minded individuals and beautiful beings. I went to Pennsylvania, New York, Buffalo, the UP, and Ionia, Michigan, where I went to my first festival. I got braces, started working on 2 passion projects, went to minimalist, got my permit, got threads, got back into dancing, and had my first performance of the year. My sister also got married and had her first child, which was extremely crazy. This year, I truly released a lot of traumatic experiences and realized there's no need to hold on to what has happened, and every day is a new day to create a life that I want to live, and not to allow others' actions to shift my mood and control the direction of my life. Take this to help you write out your 2020 vision. After the 2019 wrap-up, I went on to writing the theme for 2020, which was independence and seeking discomfort, and I just wrote down underneath what I wanted to invite with me and take with me to 2020. After what I wanted to invite to 2020, underneath it I wrote down what I wanted to let go when I step into the new decade, 2020. After I did my theme for 2020, I just made a list of like 2020 goals I had, and just kind of like everything that I would like to accomplish and do. Just made a list of it. You can either make 8 category lists if you're not completely sure on what you want to do, or if you don't have like a clear, specific vision. to get a better clarity and understanding, you can make a list of 8 things: financial, relationship, physical, family, spiritual, career, attitude slash mindset, school slash, knowledge slash school, which those are the 8. And in those 8 categories, make 3 bullet points on each of them, like this: financial, 3 bullet points, and make it as specific as you like. The more specific you are, the more highly it is to come true, and the more motivated you are to do it, and more driven you'll be to do it and accomplish it. But if you already know and you have a clear vision and clarity on, okay, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I want, then make a category of 4. And in those 4 things, you can, like, what are the main things that you would like to do? So your health, your lifestyle, say like your lifestyle, you want to go vegan, and in your health, you want to, or like your financial or whatnot, say, or your financial, you want to gain this amount of money, and make that your big main theme for the health, for the financial. But the rest, like, oh, I want to save money, and I want to start eating less dairy, this, and this one, this. Use those as just tactics to help you get there. Because we have emotional attachments to certain things that we put down, say like meditation. Like if you don't constantly do that, we sometimes get disappointed, and we then think like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this and whatnot. So then you kind of like make yourself feel down. But so that's why it's good. Use those other things as tactics to achieve this main goal that you have. Lifestyle, veganism, main goal, but use the rest, like I'm going to start eating less milk, and I'm going to start making this and this instead of this, as tactics to achieve this main goal, if you know what I mean. So you can break down into 4 categories as whatever the main 4 things that you would like to do for 2020. For myself, I did both of the 8 categories, and I'm gonna do the 4 big categories because I wanted a clear version on, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and then break it down to like, this is what I'm gonna do for 2020. In the 4 categories to shorten it down. And from there, since I have a clear vision on what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna accomplish these goals that I have set for 2020, I got myself, because this helps me, a 2020 planner. And this one, sometimes it's just so difficult for me to find one, but like someday maybe I'd like to make one. But so this one is goals, important things to do. So to me, this part is super important because every month you should look at your goal for 2020 and be like, okay, what can I do every single month to keep on moving forward and to keep on going and to keep on getting closer to reach what I want to do. So say if you're gonna go vegan, write down, okay, I'm gonna cut this out for this month and I'm not gonna eat it anymore. I'm gonna cut down on this and I'm gonna save this much for this month. And writing that down can really help imprint it in your brain. And some of the tips that I've heard from other people that worked for them and that has worked for me, and stuff that I heard and stuff that I thought was actually pretty good to implement in my life, which I want to share with you guys, are from however much you're making, we all know to like save some. So at least save 10, 15, or 20 to 25% of whatever you make, and then either take the rest and like use it as cash, because I know sometimes we tend to, when we do have a credit card, because we can't see the money, we tend to use it more often, you feel me? And so you can do that, which I will start doing because I know I can get a card, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hopefully I don't spend too much and get out in cash. Use it wisely. Have a budget either weekly or monthly on how much you want to spend so you don't go overboard on how much you're gonna spend, and so you don't go overboard on like spending too much. So budget for either weekly spending or monthly spending. If you got $250 or $350 or $325 or something like that, put the 300 in the bank or put the 200 in the bank, keep the 25 or keep the 50 and keep the 50. You know what I mean? So you can split like that, keep the 100 there and keep the 20s and the rest in your checkings, I think it was, or take it out in cash and keep it with you like that. What I found helpful was like also every month making sure to do one thing that keeps me and takes me out of my comfort zone. Just doing something new every single month that helps me keep on growing, whether it's reading a freaking new book, whether it's doing some new training, whether it's I would highly suggest decluttering every single month. I think that personally helps me and helps me just not only declutter the space I'm in, but my mind, and just makes me feel more clean, clear, and fresh. When my space is clean, clear, and fresh. Excuse me. Every single month, doing something, whether it's like not eating meat for this, or not drinking something like that, or taking something out of my diet and lifestyle that does not serve me, and or do something that will help the environment every single month, like maybe not using plastic this month, or straws, or plastic cups. So you're, you know what I mean? So you're always like learning and you're growing and you're, just kind of trying something new. Screen time limits has helped me be on my social medias less and going on screens and technologies less. And screen times, I think that's a really good way to limit the amount of time you use technology and the amount of time you are on the phone or Instagram and all these things, which has helped me. Sometimes I come home and like the whole day, it's like I come home, do more homework and home, and setting a time sometime during the day for just 20 minutes, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes to myself, or to breathe, or to work on whatever I'm doing, like a passion thing, like to work on setting other things aside and putting myself first to work on a thing that I'm creating, passion projects, or some YouTube things, or just even taking a breather, or just thinking and reflecting, or just not even thinking, just going for a walk even. So setting that time out of the day, whenever it is, for myself. Being able to manage my time and like, okay, this is when I'm going to get my schoolwork done. This is when I'm going to start my time and it's going to be for me. And this is when I'm going to head to bed. That has really helped me keep track of what I'm going to do and like how I'm going to accomplish it, and how it's just organizing. You know what I mean? And just keeping a clear vision. Okay, this one I'm going to do, this one. And it just also teaches you discipline as well. Which I'm still working on, because I know not all the time everything goes as planned. Which I'm glad, because it always reminds me, okay, I know not everything is going to go as planned as I want it to, but even when those times happen, even though things don't go as planned, I may get frustrated, I can always reflect, look to my heart, be like, it's okay, and this is just going to teach me patience. And I'm just going to learn from this and not change my mood and whatever, depending on what someone says, or depending on if something shifts and things don't go as planned. Just working through it, working with it, and making the best out of whatever I'm doing and whatever my situation is. Whether it's sticky notes, whether it's like anything, make sure to keep reminders so you can it can trigger you to be like, okay, this is what I'm working towards. Okay, whatever I'm doing, is it gonna help me? Is it serving me? Or is it not doing that? To motivate you and inspire you, just light that spark up and be like, I'm gonna do this. End of every month, set an intention for the next month to just have that in your mind. Be like, okay, by the end of the month, which when I do that will help me in the end of the year. Well, throughout this whole process, just make sure to enjoy yourself and make sure to not get too overwhelmed. Make sure to enjoy yourself and just know that this is an experience, Don't take everything super seriously. I love you all. Peace.